What's up, guys? Chris, VA Travels, down here at Fort Monroe, Hampton, Virginia. Very southern tip of the Virginia Peninsula. And it's just going to take a look at the museum they have inside the visitor center. There's some pretty neat displays. Just going to be kind of a shorter video, but yeah, let's check it out.
All right, guys, checked in and going to take a look at some of these displays. First off, the old John Smith map going back to 1612. And yeah, he traveled nearly 3,000 miles on 20 separate expeditions to make this map. The goal was to find riches and a navigable route to the Pacific Ocean. Painting showing off how bountiful the land was. These guys fishing, hunting with their dogs, hunting with a falcon. A couple guys have falcons. And yeah, I see a deer back there. Wood engraving from 1687. Some Congolese natives making some tools. Algonquin Indian blown up off the John Smith map. And looks like he's been doing some hunting. And it actually looks like a female, but it's got the mohawk with long hair on the sides. And that's quite a longbow. Here's a shallop, a small wooden boat that John Smith would have used while he traveled up the rivers looking for that westward passage. And it would hold up to 15 passengers. Statue is to represent Isabella and Angela, two of the first 20-odd female Africans to arrive. Corn, beans, and squash, known as the Three Sisters. They would help each other grow. And female Native Americans normally did the planting and farming. Here's a picture of the Virginia Company of London's coat of arms. Chartered by King James I in 1606, the Virginia Company of London was a joint stock company that established the settlement of Jamestown in 1607. Brevet Brigadier General Simon Bernard, French engineer, who was a former aide-de-camp to Napoleon, and he designed Fort Monroe. Lieutenant Colonel Charles C. Gratiot, I hope I pronounced that right. He served as the supervising engineer during the early stages of the fort's construction. Here's an original brick. It took 10 million of these to build Fort Monroe. Construction drawing from 1831. It shows the location of a few of the officers' quarters and barrack buildings. And once the walls were completed, the engineers worked on the structures within. Letter from General Winfield Scott ordering Major General Benjamin Butler to Fort Monroe, and it outlines the 4 major objectives he had to achieve. This picture was taken shortly after he was appointed commander of Fort Monroe. He was a successful lawyer and politician from Massachusetts. Nicknamed Freedom's Fortress, 1865, well over 10,000 enslaved men, women, and children sought refuge here at Fort Monroe. This is a drawing of a freedmen's village here in Hampton, Virginia. The first contrabands, May 23, 1861, Frank Baker, James Townsend, and Shepard Mallory, 3 escaped slaves who had fled the Confederate lines at Sewell's Point and journeyed across Hampton roads under the cover of darkness to Fort Monroe. Booker T. Washington studied here at the Hampton Institute. I've got a video on his birth home out there in Hardy, Virginia, if you want to check it out. Here it is, Hampton University, one of more than 100 black colleges and universities in the United States today. This is the Emancipation Oak over at Hampton University, and it's where one of the first readings of the Emancipation Proclamation was read. I'm familiar with this guy, Robert Russa Moton, from Farmville, Virginia. You've got the Moton Museum out there, the site of a civil rights protest from the 1950s. Also, if you want to see the house he was born in, it's the Hillsman House on the Sailors Creek battlefield. I've got a video on it if you want to check it out. This is a model of the African Landing Memorial they're building just outside of the fort. Back here, this is called the Relief. This one's called the Figures, and it's to represent the first African American birth here in the New World. That would be in 1624. And this is called the Ark.
As I said a couple times, the largest masonry fort ever built in the United States, 63 acres. And to compare, Fort Pulaski, 2 acres. Fort Wool, which is nearby, 15 acres. Fort Sumner, 2.4 acres. Tiny. Oh yeah, Fort McHenry up there in Maryland, just 2 acres. All right, guys, like I say, just a quick little video. Just want to put out there for anybody who maybe can't make it out here. But yeah, I'm going to do a full tour of the complex in another video. It's going to be a long one, so yeah, check that out. Anyway, see you guys on the next one.